Ray Gricar was not a man who vanished easily. He was methodical, precise, controlled. For decades, Ray Gricar built a reputation as one of the most powerful prosecutors in Pennsylvania. Not loud, not flashy, not political in the way others were. He was known for preparation, for patience, for knowing exactly when to act and when not to. He made deliberate decisions. He remembered details. He disappeared only with reason. And yet, on April 15, 2005, Ray Gricar walked away from his life and was never seen again. Ray Frank Gricar Jr. was born in 1945. He grew up disciplined, intelligent, and deliberate. From an early age, he showed an aptitude for structure and logic. He avoided recklessness. He avoided chaos. He was the kind of man who planned his days and stuck to the plan. He attended Dickinson College, then went on to Cornell Law School, one of the most prestigious law schools in the country. Those who knew him described him as sharp, reserved, and deeply analytical. He spoke with purpose. When he did speak, people listened. After law school, Ray Gricar moved steadily upward through the legal system. He was not interested in fame. He was interested in control, not over people, but over outcomes, over cases, over facts. Eventually, he became the district attorney of Center County, Pennsylvania, a position he would hold for 20 years. 20 years of prosecutorial power. 20 years of deciding who would be charged and who would not. 20 years of holding files that never saw the light of day. During his tenure, Ray Gricar prosecuted thousands of cases. Violent crimes, assaults, financial crimes, drug offenses, sensitive offenses. He built a reputation for being fair but unyielding. If he believed the evidence was strong, he pursued convictions aggressively. If he believed it was weak, he refused to proceed, regardless of public pressure. And that refusal is where the questions begin. Ray Gricar's real power came not from the cases he brought to court, but from the ones he chose not to. He was known for independence. He resisted political influence. He rarely bent. He declined cases he believed could not be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. That philosophy earned him respect from defense attorneys and frustration from law enforcement alike. Most importantly, Ray Gricar had authority over cases that touched some of the most powerful institutions in Pennsylvania, including Penn State University. In 1998, allegations surfaced involving Jerry Sandusky, a former Penn State assistant football coach. A mother reported concerning behavior involving her son. The complaint triggered an investigation. Interviews were conducted. Evidence was reviewed. The case eventually landed on Ray Gricar's desk. After reviewing the material, Gricar made a decision that would follow him long after his disappearance. He declined to file charges. At the time, the decision raised questions, but it did not cause outrage. The allegations were not public. Penn State's football program was untouchable. The case quietly faded from public view. Years later, after Jerry Sandusky was convicted on dozens of counts involving crimes against minors, Ray Gricar's decision became a focal point of national scrutiny. Why didn't he prosecute? Why did the case stop with him? Gricar told friends that the evidence at the time would not have survived in court. He reportedly said it was a case he could not win, and that bringing weak charges would do more harm than good. Others believe pressure may have played a role. Some believed Gricar learned something during that investigation that went far beyond the initial allegations. Something he could not unlearn. Ray Gricar understood disappearance on a deeply personal level. In 1996, his younger brother Roy Gricar, a successful attorney living in Ohio, vanished without explanation. Roy left his home one day and never returned. His car was later found parked near a bridge. His body was never recovered. The case haunted Ray. Roy was declared legally dead in 2002. Friends said Ray never truly recovered from his brother's disappearance. He became more withdrawn, more reflective. He spoke about mortality, about finality, about how easily a person could vanish without answers. At one point, Ray told friends, "If I ever do that, you'll never find me." At the time, it sounded like dark humor. In hindsight, it sounded like a plan. On Friday, April 15, 2005, Ray Gricar left his home in Center Hall, Pennsylvania. He told his girlfriend he was going for a drive. There was nothing unusual about this. Ray often drove to think. He liked being alone. He liked control over his time. He had recently announced plans to retire. He was in the process of cleaning out his office. Colleagues said he seemed relieved, calm, ready to move on. There were no signs of distress, no arguments, no threats. That morning, Ray Gricar did something investigators would later describe as deeply unsettling. He removed the hard drive from his home computer. He destroyed it. He physically damaged it to ensure it could not be repaired. Then he disposed of it in a river. This was not accidental. This was deliberate. Ray Gricar understood evidence. He understood data. He understood how difficult it would be to retrieve information once a hard drive was destroyed and submerged. No explanation was ever given. Later that day, Ray Gricar was seen in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, approximately 45 miles from his home. Surveillance footage confirmed his presence. He withdrew cash from an ATM. He ate lunch at a local restaurant. He purchased gasoline. Witnesses said he appeared relaxed, unhurried, composed. This was not a man acting out of panic. This was not a man being chased. This was a man executing steps. At some point that afternoon, Ray Gricar's red Mini Cooper was parked near the Antique Automobile Club of America Museum in Lewisburg. The location was not random. Nearby was a public access point to the Susquehanna River, a wide, fast-moving body of water known for its depth and strong currents. Inside the car were Ray's wallet, his keys, and his cell phone. The phone was turned off. Ray Gricar was gone. Authorities launched a large-scale search. Helicopters scanned the river from above. Boats dragged the water. Dive teams searched below the surface. Dogs tracked scent trails along the shoreline. Nothing was found. No body surfaced. No clothing. No personal effects. The river offered no answers. As days turned into weeks, investigators learned that Ray Gricar destroyed his hard drive before he disappeared. This detail shifted the entire narrative of the case. This was not a spontaneous act. This was preparation. He was erasing information. What information remains unknown? There were no backups, no cloud storage, no recovered fragments. Everything was gone. Theories began to form. Some believed Ray Gricar remained alive. He knew the river well. His brother disappeared in a similar manner. The Susquehanna would have easily concealed a person, but there was no note, no indication of emotional collapse. Friends insisted Ray was optimistic about retirement and his future. Being alive did not explain the hard drive. Others believed Ray Gricar disappeared voluntarily. He once claimed he knew how to vanish successfully. He had the intelligence, the discipline, and the knowledge to do it. But he left behind money, relationships, a life he had spent decades building. No confirmed sightings of Ray Gricar have ever surfaced. Another theory suggested foul play. Ray Gricar handled sensitive cases. He had knowledge that could have threatened powerful people. He declined prosecutions that angered others. But there was no evidence of a struggle, no signs of coercion. No witnesses reported a confrontation. No suspect has ever been identified. Years later, when the Jerry Sandusky scandal exploded publicly, Ray Gricar's name returned to national attention. Commentators asked whether he knew more than he ever revealed. Did guilt drive him? Did fear? Did he believe the truth would eventually surface and consume him? Investigators found no direct evidence linking his disappearance to the Sandusky case. But the timing has never stopped raising questions. In 2011, Ray Gricar was declared legally dead. Status: undetermined. The FBI reviewed the case. No conclusions were reached. The file remains open. Ray Gricar left behind silence. No body, no confession, no truth. He erased himself with the precision of a man who spent his life controlling outcomes. Only this time, there was no verdict. Ray Gricar once said, "If I ever disappear, you'll never find me." So far, he was right. If you have information regarding the disappearance of Ray Frank Gricar Jr., contact Pennsylvania State Police. This case remains open.